Brown lost it. Here comes McGrady. No timeouts remaining. McGrady for the win. Yeah!
Yes, guys, today we are going to be looking at the time Tracy McGrady scored 13 points in 33 seconds. Now, I've got to say, this is one of my personal favorite NBA moments. At the time of this game, Tracy McGrady was my favorite player, and I just so happened to catch this live, and it was insane. So I'm very excited to talk about this, but first, I just want to say one thing. While I was editing this video, a very similar video popped up into my recommendation page. I mean, that's just unfortunate. A lot of people are making NBA content now, and so I guess this is gonna happen. And I would have just saved this video for a few months from now, but unfortunately, as you guys all know, we've got this Twitter challenge going, and I have to upload. But I still think this is fine. Even if you already watched that other video, I can guarantee you mine is completely different. Yes, we're talking about the same topic, but I took a completely different approach to this game. By the way, my name is Mike. I did not say that, and enough of all of this. Let's just jump into this. Tracy McGrady was supposed to be one of the best players to ever play the game of basketball. Between the ages of 22 to 24, T-Mac put up a staggering 28.6 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 5.4 assists a night while establishing himself as one of the best young players to ever step foot on an NBA court. This is not an exaggeration, as in the history of the league, only two other players, LeBron James and Oscar Robertson, have averaged at least 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists a game at that young of an age. And going even further, when Kobe Bryant was asked by Jimmy Kimmel in an interview in 2013 about the toughest guy he ever had to play against, Kobe did not say LeBron, Pierce, Iverson. No, he said,
the guy that always gave me the most problems actually was Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady?
Yeah. Tracy
Something
McGrady,
about the...
man. Tracy McGrady with his, he had all the skills and all the athleticism, but he was 6'9".
And yet, Tracy McGrady never reached the MVP level that he once had a chance to climb to. He never won a championship. He never even stepped foot on the court of a second-round playoff matchup. For a player who was once so great, Tracy McGrady's career is utterly devoid of iconic moments, except for one night. One night where in a random December game in the 2005 season against the San Antonio Spurs, Tracy McGrady tapped into his potential greatness and gave the NBA the most unlikely iconic moment we have ever seen. The seeds for the absurdity of this moment were planted before the two teams ever stepped foot on the court that night. As in one corner, we had the San Antonio Spurs, a team who has unquestionably been the most dominant franchise of the last 20 years. Opposing the Spurs, we had the Houston Rockets, a team that has not even reached an NBA championship since they won it all back with Hakeem Olajuwon in 1995. And in the 2005 season, the Spurs were also the better team. They would go on to win the 2005 championship, while the Rockets, well, yet again, T-Mac found himself losing in the first round. And the thing is here, on that night in December, the game's result looked like it was going to be business as usual. In fact, looking at the stands, it's clear that many fans felt the exact same way. But the ones that stayed, they were rewarded with possibly the greatest moment in Tracy McGrady's Hall of Fame career. Because with 35 seconds left to go, down 8, Tracy rose up and hit a 3 in Malik Rose's eye. The crowd would begin to buzz a little, but the Spurs would make both free throws on the other end. And if you make your free throws with that large of a lead with this little amount of time, you're supposed to be safe. You're supposed to win. Except now down 7, T-Mac brought the ball up the court, pump fake, then jumped into Tim Duncan and put up a prayer of a 3 while fouled that miraculously went in. Now the crowd was really into the game, and of course T-Mac knocked down his free throw, but again the Spurs were fouled and made both of their free throws. And so San Antonio was up by 5 points with just 16 seconds left. They thought they were safe, but unfortunately for them, Tracy McGrady was on fire. This was a man who should have been an all-time great. This was a man whose game Kobe feared the most. San Antonio tried to stop him though. They tried to keep the ball out of his hands, but they couldn't. They could only watch helplessly as Tracy took the ball right at one of the best perimeter defenders of his era, Bruce Bowen, and again rose up for another near impossible shot.
McGrady over Bowen for three. Yes!
The Spurs would call a timeout, desperately trying to take control of this game, but you can guess what happened next. Somehow, with a 2-point lead and the Rockets needing to foul, Devin Brown just fell and lost the ball. It was almost as if the basketball gods wanted this to happen, wanted to give NBA fans everywhere something to remember Tracy McGrady for. Because, of course, the ball ended up in T-Mac's hands. He calmly picked it up and darted down the court with one thing on his mind: a game-winning three to make history.
McGrady for the win. Yes! 1.7 to go.
Yes, in the most unlikely scoring explosion we have ever seen, Tracy McGrady scored 13 points in 33 seconds to lead the Rockets back from an 8-point deficit. Every shot he took had at least one man right in his face. Every shot he took should have been impossible, but every shot had the same result. And just looking at these numbers, nothing about T-Mac's performance seems to make sense. In the 2005 season, McGrady shot less than 33% from three, which means the odds of him making 4 straight three-pointers at any time were just about 1%. Combine that with the fact that all of these shots were heavily guarded, and it's clear that those odds were way worse. Now, in terms of scoring 13 points in just 33 seconds, those amount of points in that short amount of time meant that T-Mac was averaging 0.39 points per second. If he kept up that pace for an entire game, he would break Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point scoring record in just 5 minutes. And if he kept that pace up for an entire season, Tracy would have broken Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's career scoring record of 38,387 points in just 39 games. Nothing about this comeback made sense. If we all watched this happen in a movie, we would laugh at how ridiculous Hollywood can be. But sometimes real life can surprise us more than Hollywood ever could. And so after this game, when asked how his team blew an 8-point lead even though they made all of their free throws down the stretch, Spurs coach Greg Popovich put all of our thoughts into words, simply saying, "How the hell do I know?" And so guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed diving into one of my favorite NBA moments. 13 points in 33 seconds. That's still just so mind-blowing. And yes, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. I do basketball videos like this. I do NBA conspiracies. A new What If is coming soon. And by soon, you know, I mean like 3 weeks or so, but kinda soon. And if you're already a sub, thank you guys so much for supporting. We are so close to 1 million. Gonna be insane. And as always, guys, I want you to have an awesome day, and cue that music.